Divine Feminine, my queen, my empress, my protector, my know it all, psychic, intuitive lady. I feel like there are so many titles that, like, I feel like you could claim any and all of them, and yet none of them are enough on their own. I think that's part of what's kept me away for so long. I wasn't sure if any of them were really true, and I think because one didn't fit, I kind of assumed that none fit, you know? And then I realized, ironically enough, through your reflection of me, that the reason you didn't fit in one is because one was not enough. Oh, feminine. I feel like I'm sitting here in what I thought was a castle, what I thought would be my redemption, my, I don't know, something to feed my ego, I guess. My point to prove that I could do all the things in the way that I have been doing them. There's even a large part of me that wanted to prove you wrong. That most of it was just fear. I knew you were right. I knew you were right the whole time, and yet I let myself placate. I let myself bend to the will of those who were not even on my side. And it feels like I've been asking and asking and asking. I don't even know who, the universe, I suppose. God, Jesus, some ancestor, I don't even know. Just asking for resolution, asking for clarity, asking for liberation from the mess I got myself into. And I feel like all the things that have been happening, including stuff from you, have like made the truth so obvious it's almost painful to realize that the truth is I made a series of unfortunate decisions that were based on pride and ego and greed and lust. And I knew what I was choosing wasn't going to get me what I wanted. But, you know, it's funny. I feel like I've sat more. I feel like in our spaces of not communicating that I have found myself more in the silences, in the quiet. And as I sit in that quiet, I find you. Sometimes it annoys me, you know, feminine, like how you could do that. And I can't even blame you. You're not here doing it. And the reason that it happens is because you are, quite frankly, very amazing, even in your worst of moments. You constantly astound and inspire me. Sometimes you piss me off so bad too, though it always comes back around to a reflection of me. And then even when I get in my own fits, my own moods and tantrums, and I cut you off or put every obstacle in between us to try to feel like some semblance of myself without you, that's when I find you more. Either someone else brings you up, or there's something laying around me that I thought that I put away or got rid of, and there it is again, or there's the kids, there's family. Ugh, don't get me started on family right now. I feel like my own family has been my biggest betrayers, coming between us, coming between me and the karmics, coming between me and myself. I feel like I look around me and I look at everybody that I have worked so hard to impress, to support, to be likable to. And those were the very people betraying me the most. And I feel weird because, you know, old me would have just been like, well, fuck them. Fuck them if they don't throw Diet Cokes, just cut them off kind of thing. But then I feel like knowing you and knowing that you wouldn't even do that, even to somebody that, like, yeah, you'd have good boundaries. You are like the best example of healthy boundaries there. They're firm but not rigid. You're able to allow people close to you and then also replace them again when the moment is right. I don't know, like I'm used to a world that's very cutthroat, feminine. Like I'm used to people just being like either you're in or you're out. You're on the pedestal or you're on the ground and beneath everyone. There aren't a whole lot of hues in the middle, and I feel like I don't know, sometimes I feel like before I met you I was okay with that. Like I knew the way that the world worked and I was comfortable with that. At least I knew how it worked. It was very black and white, very all or nothing. And then you came in, and then it's like that song from Sesame Street, the lovers, dreamers, and me, Rainbow Connection, which, as you know, has a lot of significance to me. But I feel like I never really saw the technicolor, the hues of the world until I met you, and then suddenly everything changed. I mean, even way back when, and I feel like the stupidest person in the world, because even like since the moment we've met, I feel like I've been running from you and yet running towards you at the same time, and I don't know how it could work that way. I just know that it does. And it feels like the same now. I feel like we went through having relationship, and then I feel like when you told me enough, when you had enough of my immature ways, my playerly ways, and you finally had the self respect to tell me to go find myself, go grow up, take my messiness away from your beautiful manifestations. That I don't know, I feel like I lost a part of myself. I feel like I could never feel like a man if I couldn't please someone like you, and why try to even find somebody who is even close to comparable as you. I think I found the closest to it as somebody who is trying to copy you, but even that, there's no cheap imitations don't do it. And I tried to distract myself. I tried to do everything, and I feel like in the times when I'm just like, no, enough. Like I try to cut you all the way off. Like it just makes me think of you more. And it makes me think of where I feel like I failed in so many different ways, including that I've been like running from you, and yet you are always the answer to my prayers. I swear, every time I have really prayed for something, every time I really wished for something, somehow Spirit always brings it to me through you. If not directly from you, then through someone I know because of you, or someone I have a better relationship with because of you, or it'll be like a random billboard or song on the radio or a memory on social media or some big thing that you're doing, whether light or shadow. Like, whenever I ask the universe for anything, it shows me something that reminds me of you. And even more so when I'm trying to be mad at you, which I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a hard time staying mad at you. I swear, there are people, like, there are people in this world. If it would, I don't even know how to say it, feminine. I just stumble all over my words. I feel like you could do so many things with me, and I could not stay mad at you, even if they were things that someone else did to me that I've stayed mad at them for. I think it's because I know your heart, even when I don't want to admit that I do, I do. I know you, and I feel bad because my fears, my insecurities were what got to me, and exactly what put me in the mess that I'm in. I don't know. I feel like I finally called in that intervention from the universe that I've been praying for. It's like the moment I gave up on it, then it came in and it like completely took me by surprise. And it was like simultaneously worse than I could have ever imagined, and also the best possible things that I never would have expected to happen have happened. And that, of course, makes me think of you too. And now I don't know, I keep feeling like I want to just be like, you know what, this is it. I gotta be done being this immature masculine who never puts himself first sometimes and then is completely stupidly selfish other times. Like, I've got to find that balance in the middle. I just, I feel like it's one of those, I know by now I'm not going to stop thinking about you. It's going to affect any other relationship I have. And I've tried to get closure. I've tried to move that way. I've tried to do it. I know even you have tried to force me into that or force yourself into it, and yet we keep coming back to each other. First in our hearts, and then, I mean, how many times have we run into each other, like, randomly in impossible moments, or at least extremely improbable moments? And then there's all the things that I've learned from you that have improved my life now, that I've used to survive the karmic relationships I've been in, to keep things going with friends and family that really I should have taken a lot of space from a long time ago. And I can't, like, unlearn those things. And I can't deny that they've made things better, though every time I look at anything improving around me, even when it's good, I think about you. I wouldn't have it as good as I have had it, even despite the not so great things, if it weren't for you. It's funny, I feel like, how they say your first, like, you measure everyone else against your first love? Well, I feel like I did that with you, but then you showed me that, yeah, even though I had feelings for those before you, especially the first gal, that they weren't real love. That they weren't, not, I don't know, like, they were. I feel like you've never been the person to tell me I didn't love somebody, but I feel like I can see that there's a difference. And I feel like it was really you who are my first love. I feel like it's you that I compare everybody else to. And how could I not? I mean, look at everything that you've been doing. Well, I've been replaying old karmic cycles I should have put down a long time ago. You've been working on you and keeping track of me and getting healthier and staying chaste and staying out of relationships, but not avoiding them either. You've been making new friends and discovering new things and building up fun. Like, it's work. I know it's work, but it's fun. And you're the only person I know that not just could do that, but would do that. I feel like I've noticed that, like, almost anybody could do those things in their own ways, but you're one of the few people that would and are doing it. I can't tell you how much more, I don't know if the word is jealous, but definitely envious that has made me. I can't tell you what I would give to be able to say no to the people around me, and even if they threw complete tantrums about it, even if they, like, ruined my reputation or did anything like that, that I could still love myself and still stand true and tall and authentic. I don't know how. I don't. I would give so much to be able to, like, stand on my own and not feel like I could not make it in the world as just me. Like, I feel like I look at you and I know there was a time when you felt like I do now, and I see you now, and I swear, like, in some ways it's like watching Captain Jack Sparrow rush around in the movies. Like, there was no way there was a plan to it. He just ad-libbed as he went. And I feel like you're like divine feminine version of that, to where, like, you were always that person that I expected to have a plan, to have thoughtfully considered each step and followed that plan to the best of your ability. And now I'm watching you and it's like you clearly don't have a plan. It's almost like you're emphasizing that you have no plan, that you're just leaping and the nets are appearing. Reminds me of that song, This Is It. I think Kenny Loggins. Like, especially that line where he says, "Stand up and fight." Like, I feel like you're part of this epic spiritual battle that I feel like I've been engrossed in, but I didn't think that you were. I thought that you were off having beautiful adventures like you should have, and I tried my best to just not reveal to you the situation I was in, but I was stupid to think that you wouldn't notice. I was stupid to ignore the connection that we had, and I was silly to think that you wouldn't want to be a part of that, right? You know? But it's like, I feel like you're showing yourself and the world that you can do so much. You are, you've been totally underestimated by everybody, and I feel like I'm watching you do everything that I intended to do, but in your own ways. Like, you're not copying me, but it's like you're saying, hey, masculine, this way. Look at this. Look at how I love myself. Look at how I have fun with people. Look at how any situation that I may get into can be turned into light and love. And even when it's dark, there's still love in it. I feel like I don't even know what I feel like, to be honest. It feels new. And I feel like I'm in this place to where it's like, okay, masculine, like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you still sitting around in this, moping, feeling pitiful? Like, you've given it so many tries to get out of it. What, you know the thing that you need to do. And I know what it is, too. I need to stand up for myself. I need to take on some of, what is that, what did you call it? The self-righteous indignation. To be honorable and yet still be willing to say the words and hold the boundaries and let people go and release people and say, I'm worthy of this. I am worthy of being my own man, my own masculine, my own person, whether anybody likes it or not, to stand up and say, this is me. And it doesn't matter if anyone else likes it because I like it. I like me. You know what's funny though, feminine? I feel like even at that though, like, how can I say it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks when I know that the only reason I can think that thought is because I know that you love the real me. I really genuinely thought for a long time that you just liked the same me that everybody else liked, the overly giving, placating type, but you're the only one I've ever met who would fight me on that, who would rather have would rather see my feisty shadow side come out so that you can get to know it than to try to make me into some sort of perfect partner who never had human sides. And you're the only one that could find a way to show me that even in my messes, even in the situations that I'm in, that while you're certainly not the type to sit around and wait for anybody, that you most definitely hold space open for me exclusively. And I still have trouble accepting that I am worthy of that. And I don't know whether it's my guides or spirit or God or what, because you know much more about it than I do, but I just keep feeling the sense of, like, you know what, if divine feminine feels like I am worthy of it, then I am worthy of it, because my divine feminine has her head on straight. She's emotionally secure no matter what she's doing or where she is. She speaks the truth. She fights for justice. She's graceful. She can have a plan or no plan and still be beautifully elegant in even her falling. And if she feels like I am worthy of her love, then I must be. Though there's still parts of me that's like, yeah, right. And I'm not sure how many of those are voices from people of my past, people that have been around me, or how much of it is real. All I know at this point in time is that I'm tired. Tired of people being ugly to each other. I'm tired of having to fight everything with everyone. I'm tired of not being able to just talk to you like we used to. To be able to just, what do we used to say? If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't, then don't. You know? I don't know, feminine. I know that I know that I have a different feeling in me. And I know that things are picking up pace in ways I didn't expect them to, and I'm ready to ride that energy wherever it leads me. I hope that it leads me right to you. That's what I feel like it's going to do, though I also know that in watching you, I've noticed that you don't set that as your must have goal. And I'm going to figure out how to do that and just follow my heart and my intuition like you've been telling me to. All right, feminine, I love you. I will do my best to send more channeled messages to you more often, at least until I get up the courage to reach out to you in the 3D again.